Right, we are live at the DW Stadium. Well, I thought pre-game, Wakey might have a sniff here tonight, Gary. The game was over after 15 minutes. Wakey were 18-0 down. An abysmal performance. What do you make of it?
Well, it was a shocking performance, certainly for that first 40 minutes, wasn't it? And yeah, I was like yourself, because Wakefield over the last couple of seasons, whether it's been at home or away here at the DW, they've put in a decent performance and put in a good team performance. But quite simply, that first 40 minutes, Mark, wasn't good enough.
Too many errors in that opening period, weren't there?
Well, this wasn't any desire, there wasn't any purpose, there wasn't any organisation from there. And like Wigan didn't have to do anything too dramatic or too brilliant. To go the whole they did with the basics, that they ran hard and straight and direct. The halfbacks in Williams and Samet just fed the players who were just running straight into the gaps. The defence from Wakefield was paper thin, non-existent, as I mentioned, with no desire and purpose from there, and they just made it far too easy for Wigan.
And Wigan, to be fair, were ruthless in that first half, weren't they?
Wigan are ruthless, you know, and as we mentioned, before the game started, that a couple of weeks ago against Wilson Rovers, you give Wigan good field position again, just a little bit of indiscipline from Wakefield, which gave Wigan at Wakefield that good field position, and Wigan are ruthless. And I say the form what George Williams in at the moment, Liam Farrell, he's back to his international best, running out wide from there, and they just they ripped Wakefield apart.
They did indeed. Hat-trick for Farrell. Truth be told, Wigan didn't get out of second gear, did they?
They didn't have to. They didn't have to, and we was looking certainly for that second half a bit of a reaction, but in that first half they didn't have to, because it was all far too easy, because Wakefield, quite simply, Mark, for the first 40 minutes, didn't turn up and didn't get off the bus.
Where do they go from here? We know they've got next week off. They go to St Helens thereafter. They've got a really tough run of fixtures. They've got some big games coming up.
Well, one thing for sure here now, the question is going to be whether they're looking over the shoulders. Well, they're not only just looking at the over the shoulders, they'll be looking at that league table. And also as well, as we mentioned tonight, the form against is going to be very, very important. And in tonight, what they've got beaten 46-30, so that's a 30-point deficit from there. So, yeah, Wakefield, not just over the shoulder, they're looking at that league table. They'll be looking certainly at the two games this weekend, and to Hull KR and Huddersfield, and certainly London with St Helens. We know St Helens are going to be resting a few of their players, and rightly so. Justin Holbrook, he couldn't care less about the bottom four. He's in a position where he can do what he wants, he can dictate what he wants from there. So Wakefield now, I'll tell you what, not just, the Wakefield fans will be wanting a little bit more pressure put on Chris Chester, and certainly on the players from there. Tell you what, they're in the mix. They're in the mix of the relegation.
Well, we saw tonight, Anthony England, no criticism of him, came hobbling back on the field. They are struggling numbers-wise, but that performance, that wasn't acceptable, whether you've got injuries or not, was it?
Absolutely, no, it wasn't. It wasn't acceptable. And to be honest with you, I'll take two players out of that from Wakefield, Chris Anakin and Tanginoa, who, for me, if I was giving them points out of 10, I would be giving them 7 out of 10. For me, any player who gets around about a 7 out of 10 has had a decent game. But the rest of them, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't give them no more than 3. Even though Hampshire scored a couple of tries from there, just a bit of vision at time, maybe a bit of luck from there. But apart from that, there's only Anakin and Tanginoa who could come out of this performance with any sort of pride whatsoever from there. So, no, that performance, quite simply, forget about the 40 minutes, the overall full 18 minutes, when you saw the try there from Gildart, just literally, again, no desire and purpose to work for the teammates. No desire there whatsoever. So whether there's a lack of team spirit in that dressing room, I don't know that, because I'm not in there.
But you mentioned, Gary, I mean, 3 tries in only 14 minutes. We were watching it before we went on air. And, you were pointing out numbers were wrong, the defence wasn't lined up right. I mean, that's just talking to the guy next to you, isn't it?
Well, of course it is, a communication, but also, too, the body language was telling me that they didn't want to fight for each other. They didn't want to fight as a team from there, so whether that's right in the dressing room from there, I can't really say about that, because I don't really know. But the body language, what I was seeing, certainly the first 15 minutes, just wasn't acceptable. And the Gildart try as well in the second half, when the Wakefield got a first try from there, again, the reaction and desire, simply not good enough. And if I'm honest with you don't often hear it very often now from coaches, but I'm hoping Chris Chester has ripped into them players, because one thing for sure, the Wakefield fans will be, calling for Chris Chester's head. But I think what Chris has done over the last certainly 2 seasons, he's got a bit of time in the bank, 2 top 5s from there. But everybody expecting Wakefield for the top 5. That's why they brought Danny Brough in to be that final piece of the jigsaw. I'll tell you now, the half-back partnership between him and Miller is not working.
Well, for the 3rd week in a row, I think he's kicked out on the full, Danny Brough. look, it's not just his fault they've lost tonight, but he's not helping things, is he?
Hey, mate, he's a big player. He's the big signing. He was supposed to bring it where Wakefield not just easily make the 5, but knocking on the door for Old Trafford. And unfortunately, at this moment in time, Danny Brough is bringing nothing to Wakefield. He's bringing absolutely nothing. There's no variety in his kicking game from there. As you mentioned, he's kicked out on the full. And certainly, his creativity with the ball in hand is non-existent. And if I'm honest with you, he might as well be sat with me in the stand.
Chris Cheston, you've mentioned he's got credit in the bank. How does he go about turning? This is 9 defeats in 10 now. How does he do? I mean, we know they've got a few days off now. They've got next weekend off, which probably, you'd argue, has come at a good time for them because they need, probably some of them need to get away from work and try and go away, refresh their minds as well as their bodies.
Well, what I would be doing, I'd be saying to all the individual players, listen, you've got a few days off now, and when I come back, I want you to tell me what your personal goal is and what goal you want for this team to achieve at the end of the season. All right, we've got is it 6 games or 7 games left?
Six left.
6 games left. Who's to say we can't win 4 of them 6 to be knocking on the door of that top 5? But you're going away. I think they've got around about maybe 4, 5, maybe 6 days off now, which I guess the Wakefield fans will be saying, we want you in tomorrow. Never mind after that performance. But listen, this is all about man management now from Chris Chester. So, but what I would be saying to them players will be simple. When you come back in 6 days' time, I want to know what your team goal is as an individual, and then you as a team collectively, you tell me what you want to achieve. And then I will tell you, quite simply, you're good enough to go out there and achieve that, so go and do it.
They're going to be looking over their shoulder tomorrow night live on talkSPORT 2. Hull, KR, Huddersfield. One of them is more than likely going to join Wakefield on 18 points.
Mate, they're not just looking over the shoulder. They're looking at that ladder. They are looking at the ladder because with the fixes what Wakefield have got, it ain't easy. It ain't easy. And so now, when you're talking about team spirit, when you're talking about, yes, it's boys there, look at your teammate and say, listen, when I'm in these trenches here, do I want him at the side of me? I didn't see enough of that with Wakefield tonight.
So what do you do though? What can you do as a team? This is a team collective now. You can't have one person trying to do everything on their own.
Right, mate. Listen, the players have to take responsibility. That's what the players have to do now. Chester can't do any more than what he's been doing. What he would have been doing, it will be quite simple. He'd have been putting his arm around. He'd have been telling them how good they were. Then also as well, he might be giving a few of them a rollicking. And then the others, he might be just saying, hey, listen, I'll just leave you alone for a while. And if you're sulking, well, I'll let you sulk for a while and see what reaction he gets. He would have been trying all the man management skills from there. It's quite simple now. The players have to take responsibility of their own individual performance and then come as a team collectively. But the big problem is, he's got to sort that half-back partnership out with Miller and Brough because it's simply not working.
Do you think they could, well, we know they could go down. Do you think they will?
Hey, listen. London, they've got 7 games left. Danny Ward will be saying, yes, we could maybe win 3 out of these 7. Leeds, they pretty lucky this week that they've got Hull at home from there. Ulkea, the way that they're going, I can't see them going into that mix from there.
You keep saying that, they're only 2 points out of it.
I understand that, but certainly the performance against Leeds last week from there and the reaction what Tony Smith is getting. Hey, one thing for sure, you can't rule out Wakefield getting relegated.
You can't. Let's have a chat about Wigan. It's only fair. We're at the home of the Super League champions. We've been here the last 2 home games. Yeah, I know they got walloped at Saints in between, but that's 6 wins in 7 now for Wigan. They're just quietly ticking along. All right, people go, well, they couldn't beat St Helens. They didn't have to beat St Helens last week, did they?
Exactly, and well, I say the way St Helens are going, they're head and shoulders above everybody else. So it wasn't a surprise that they got hammered there last week. But hey, listen. The business end of the season are coming. They've been without O'Loughlin tonight, they've been without Greenwood, they've been without Lulawai, and they've been without Burgess. Big game players, semi-final players, quality players. Wigan know what it's like when it is the business end of the season from there. They love this time of the season because they're there year in, year out. They love it, and certainly George Williams, who want to go out on a high. We believe in going to Canberra. Liam Fowler's back to his international best. Wigan, their goal will be surely. Can they catch Warrington? Maybe a little bit too much, but what Wigan will be looking for, they'll be looking to cement that top 5 place as quickly as possible, hopefully finishing 3rd. And I'll tell you what, Wigan will give that shake-up then, a massive shake-up.
You wouldn't want to play them in a one-off game.
No. No way, mate. You would not want to play them because they've been there, seen it and done it, and they love the business end of the season.
So credit to Wigan.
Absolutely. Credit to Wigan. Credit to Adrian Lamb with all what's gone on, all the shenanigans what's gone on over the last 12 months. The players look settled. The players look happy. Adrian Lamb's happy. The Wigan fans are happy. And one thing for sure, Wigan, they get in that top 5. They'll be happy. And I tell you what, don't rule out them going back to Old Trafford.
Well, we'll see. I will be at Cape Craven Park tomorrow night, live on talkSPORT 2, to find out who will join Wakefield on 18 points. Will it be Hull Kingston Rovers? Will it be the Huddersfield Giants? We'll then have all the action on Sunday, and we will be back on Monday night. You, the Kaplan, and the Shaw Wright. He'll be in mourning tonight, won't he?
And you know what? One thing for sure. Leeds, please, win without Myler. You'll be doing a Catalans where Martin Smith won't play again. Come on, Leeds, win, please.
Well, we'll see. We'll be back Monday night on 4020 Live. Thanks for tuning in. We will be back at 6 o'clock reviewing all the Super League action. There's plenty more twists and turns to come.